And welcome to tonight's episode of Pagan Men. I'm Dave.
I'm Barrett.
I'm Scurv.
Also joining us tonight are...
I'm Adam.
And I'm Chitmasu.
Alright, so might as well just jump into the topics for the July episode of Pagan Men here. First the topic for tonight is going to be men and metaphysics. We've been doing a lot of metaphysical discussion lately, so I guess this kind of fits in. So the first topic is, for your particular path, what is the role of a man in ritual, or do men not have a specific metaphysical role in your spiritual path?
I guess I'll start there.
Yeah, I guess you should start because Joe doesn't really have a path.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I love you too.
Have fun wandering, Joe.
Okay. Yeah, well, in Ossetru, the main ritual is the bloat, and, well, in Ossetru, men and women are pretty much equal in all ways, so, yeah, there is no specific metaphysical role.
Is there any relation between the word bloat and the word bloated?
No.
Okay.
Bloat.
Dave, that was low by my standards.
Well, most people don't know what a bloat is. Can't you elaborate what a bloat is? Or shall we keep it a mystery and call it oathbound?
See, Ravencast. We support our friends at Ravencast.
Okay, that is acceptable. Just Google Ravencast, it's the first result.
We hope.
Either that, or you're going to get some gay furry porn. If that happens, we're not responsible. Well, I'm Wiccan, so we don't really have bloats that I'm aware of. Wicca is very much trying to balance gender roles, traditional gender roles. And that's been interesting in various interpretations of how do you balance gender roles. In Wicca, men tend to be more of the, I hate to say masculine, I would say more of the going out and getting stuff done, the co-leader of the group. I mean, it's not that men and women in Wicca aren't co-equal, it's that Wicca tends to realize that there's a certain specialization in roles just due to the way people are built. Women tend to be more about womb space in Wicca and all of the stuff that comes with that, whereas men tend to be more about I wouldn't say so much as keeping the family together, because that is something that women do help with, but more of the identifying with the hunt and being the hunters and all that fun goodness of the ideal masculine.
Sounds like... Sorry. Sounds kind of like men are the out and the women are the in.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, not to imply that women are supposed to be housewives or something like that. I mean, they could be out too, but I mean, it's kind of weird because Wicca is kind of, as much as a lot of the practitioners of Wicca are very forward-thinking and progressive, the religion itself kind of reinforces the old traditions of how people think about gender roles. And it becomes very controversial when you start talking about homosexuality in Wicca, because some people think it has no place. You're supposed to be balancing opposite genders. How do you do that when you have a homosexual couple? And my resolution to that is, well, have you ever looked at a gay couple and not noticed that one is clearly the man and the other one is clearly the woman, even if they're of the same gender? I think this is where we start getting into that whole mess of gender identity again. It's more, at least as far as the metaphysics goes, I think it's more important about how you identify and the energies you more clearly identify with working with than the equipment between your legs.
Got much.
That's just my viewpoint on things.
Those gender roles that I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent because, well, we don't have a lot of it.
We don't have a whole lot of material. You might as well go.
Those gender roles do have, from what they look at as evolutionary precedents. If a man, with the way the average male brain works, if a man were to be put in a situation with 3 kids, had to make supper, do laundry, everything all at once, we'd break like dry and brittle twigs, because we don't have quite the same ability to multitask as a woman does, and hunting they have less ability to do that because our minds are built to look at one particular thing and attack it, essentially. So that's where the gender roles come from. It's not like anyone was pushed into that. That's just the way evolution drove us.
Well, I mean, one thing that I find really interesting in Wicca, especially, is that the role of the female is very, very well defined. You know, you got the maiden, the crone, and the woman who's a young girl looking to become familiar with the world. Then there's the maid who is the child bearer, the rearer of children, and then there's the crone who imparts her wisdom upon the community. And the male equivalents of that aren't so well defined, and it's becoming defined. I mean, you're starting to see a lot of these coming-of-age rituals for men in pagan gatherings, but it's not as well-worn a path as it is on the female side of the spectrum in Wicca. Joe,
Is it
if you're thinking about it, though, I mean, think about it this way: men, I mean, I'll be a poo-poo head about this. Men tend to be proud. Men tend not to know their limits or care about their limits. It's one or the other. We'll debate that topic later. So, I think part of the reason why that's not as well defined is you have these men, these awesome meat-eating men who, while they're going about doing their manly things back in the day, sort of went the way of Darwin. They meant to help something go help something else move along the wheel of life, and ended up being the one being moved instead when they weren't fast enough to cope with a situation, or a heart just gave out, or they'd done fallen and couldn't get up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that might have something to do with it. Because...
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm kind of drawing the conclusion that technology metaphysically castrated the masculine energy.
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of the masculine energy that is left is kind of funneled into stupidity, if anything. Whether it's shooting someone outside a bar or starting a barroom brawl in states that are not Texas, or
Jackass.
Yeah, Jackass the movies. I mean, it's like we have no way to vent out our masculine energies anymore, so all that's left is stupid crap. There's no more just walking up to a deer and beating it to death with a stick and choking it with your bare hands, Yeah, so
you could do that in Bird's Hill. You're not allowed to do it, but the deer are that dumb. Hunt with an apple and a hammer.
In Pennsylvania, there's a hunting season basically just for that, running up to the deer and smacking it over the head with a stick.
Is there?
Yeah. It's before archery season.
Please tell me that's for bucks and not does.
It's for bucks. Yeah, not does.
Yes!
I'm kind of sad that doesn't overlap.
No. Bucks have, like, antlers and stuff. This is a fair fight. I approve. Kinda.
Yeah, this is Pennsylvania's way of expanding hunting season. At first, it was just shooting them. Then they're like, oh well, okay, let's make it earlier, but let's kind of balance it out a little. Let's make it a little harder, and you have to use a bow of some sort. Then it was okay. Let's add a season before that, but you can't use crossbows. And then eventually, I think it was like a year or two before I moved, it's like, okay, let's add a season before that, but let's get rid of the bows and just, like, make people walk up to it and, like, hit it with a stick. I forget the name of the stick. The stick does have a name.
I can just see one of the Pennsylvanians running up with a big wooden club, and the deer looking at him and just bucking him.
Or worst case scenario, you just drive on the interstate and you'll hit one anyway.
I hit it with a club. It was just the size of my car.
Well, Pennsylvania does have the law. If you hit it, you can legally keep it.
Really?
Yep. Well, hell, it saves the roadkill crew some work.
Okay.
Every county in Pennsylvania has their designated roadkill crew.
You really don't want to keep deer that got hit by a car, though.
Oh, of course.
Blood shock.
Yeah.
Unless you're that guy from Taboo. But he lives in England.
Oh, people still, if they hit them, if white person hits it, they rarely go to waste.
Once, my dad was meeting up with my mother for a date, and he hit a deer on the way. So he shows up for this date, covered in blood, with a deer carcass in the back of the truck. And she still married him.
You, sir, are a lucky person to be here.
Oh, yes.
She was obviously seduced by his aura of manliness.
Of course, of course.
His chest hairs had chest hairs.
Well, that brings us over to another tangent, if we want.
Okay.
Why do women go for poo-poo head butthole men?
Oh, man. I know this answer. This was on Pagan Women like 3 months ago.
Some people think it's daddy issues.
It's because they're strong and they can take care of me.
It's the reason why there's so many women on Craigslist. They do stupid crap when they're like in high school, and then like by the time they're like 23, they're like, I want to have a real man who's like responsible and crap, and then they're trying to like have like a ready-made family toting along their little toddler with them. It's like, if we're gonna have a family, I want to be the one making it.
Well, actually, I've been down that route once or twice, and it's gonna sound very crass the way I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it crass just for listenability's sake. Last couple of times I investigated that, the woman will call a 5, 6, maybe a 7. And she was looking for a man that was an all-around 8, 9, or 10. I mean, quite frankly, in this day and age, if you're not going to find a guy who is not only fit and strong and in a job and handsome and in a well-paying job. I mean, it's... And if you do find someone that's like that, they're normally not going for the woman who's already got the kid but from somebody else and other issues, you know? They're out there looking for a swimsuit model. But that just comes down to unreasonable expectations.
I just have that theme song from that Mad TV skit. Lower expectations.
Hmm. Well, just to be realistic, if I'm hypothetically sitting down talking to a girl and she's wanting to get her life back together, and her ex-boyfriend is psychotic and has visitation rights with the kids, I'm asking myself this: does this bode well for my future?
Probably not.
Which I know it sounds crass and makes me sound like all three shades of a soulless schmuck, but...
No, but it makes sense.
When you're sitting there and that's what's staring at you, it's like, why do I have a bad feeling about this?
Because usually it's leading to a bad situation. That's why you have a bad feeling.
Yeah.
That's your survival instinct.
There's been debate about whether I actually possess one or not. So if that's what it takes to kick it on, I should let you know about the situation. And this is coming from somebody who knowingly goes outside while there's a tornado there.
Or kayaks down a flooded river.
That was fun. Almost got killed, but that was fun.
Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Unless you break your spine and you become a vegetable.
That just makes you Superman.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. That almost made me want, well, fish food. Oh, I'm at the bottom of a creek. This is not good. It feels like the weight of the world is on me. Shit. I'm really out of shape, but I'm out of breath. I need air now. Talk about a kick to the balls. Get up for a breath of air and get crunched between two logs.
Oof.
That's just Universe's way of saying, don't do this crap again.
Possibly. I think it's more the universe's way of saying, if you're going to do stupid crap like this, at least pretend to make yourself equal to the task. You get off with a warning, but I mean, at least pretend to be in shape when you go to do it. Maybe not knowingly set out in your kayak that didn't have a drain plug in the back. Oh, I'm taking on water. I need to improvise a solution.
Did your kayak get out of it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Do you have a drain plug yet, or is that also on that list next to the alternator?
Oh, I found a drain plug for it.
Okay.
Did you find an alternator yet?
I'm getting there.
I seem to remember you being looking for an alternator last time I was with you guys.
Yeah. Well, looking for an alternator is an exaggeration, actually. There's pretty good availability for it, but I want to get the RV down to my dad's nice open area work on it before I actually, really do work on it. I have this unreasonable fear that if I'm working on a vehicle by the side of the road, an 18-wheeler is going to go rape me.
Well, that damaged guardrail that's right there might be a sign.
Yeah.
Just saying. Alright, so the next topic we have here is, do you believe that all energies are equally accessible to both men and non-men? And if not, what energies are exclusively available to men? And are these energies available to all who identify as male, or just those who met our criteria for what is a man from episode 1?
First, I have to marvel at the usage of non-man or non-men. But here's just my view on this. I don't believe all energies are available to every person. With that being said, I do believe, and this by and large, that all energies are available to both men and women. I know it sounds contradictory, but I mean, it's...
No, because you're making a distinction on person by person, not gender. That's kind of where you go.
I mean, I know some girls where if you talk to them, the only defining feminine characteristic they have is a vagina. And in every other regard, they're one of the guys. And a significant number of them have a girlfriend. But let's not go there.
You deal with many flat-chested tomboys.
Actually, I think tomboys are kind of cute.
I like tomboys. They're usually the aggressive warrior type, and I like that.
And then you can be a little bit rough with them, push them in a pole and all that stuff, and the world's not going to end.
I like women that aren't going to break as soon as I have fun with them.
Exactly.
I mean, let's face it, it's like going to the flea market. There's no returns if you break it. Or if it just falls apart on you. It's you know, all sales final.
I'm not sure where you're going with that. Well, I am, but I don't want to.
But also on said topic, I also have two nieces that I love, and in a typical overpossessive male to younger female relation, well, you know, I look forward to putting the fear of God in some young boy someday.
And you're also making sure that again, your nieces aren't gonna, get broken with their first boyfriend.
I know they wrestle with me on a regular basis. They are a bit more fluent in self-defense than they realize.
When I was 13, my cousin Shannon, who was 12 at the time, had a boyfriend who was 18. I kicked his ass.
So I have issues with that.
He had to walk away with 2 black eyes from a 13-year-old.
Limp. He had to limp away.
True.
I have to ask this. What does an 18-year-old see in a 13-year-old? I mean, sometimes puberty blesses everybody differently, but I mean,
She was fairly far along at that point, but that's no excuse.
Yeah, that doesn't excuse it. That's still creepy.
Very.
How far apart is uncreepy?
a little bit of
half your age plus 7 is the limit.
Yeah, that's a general rule of thumb.
I feel like it sort of depends on the age group that you're talking about, too, because, I mean...
Well, 18-year-old half plus 7 is 16.
Yeah, but, for example, the difference can be a bit wider when you're both over 18 adults, because you're both mentally matured. But a 13-year-old isn't going to be mentally mature.
No.
unless they've had a really fun life.
Well...
even pushing it to its extremes and say 80 and a 47-year-old, that's still... Like,
Slightly less creepy.
An 80 and a 30-year-old making out. Either gender role. Being either. Doesn't matter. I just don't want to see it.
Well, not all 40-year-olds are created equal. I mean, I hate to say that. I've known some people at age 40, they look like they're about ready to fall apart. And I've seen some people at age 60 that are in better shape than some teenagers I know.
It's still creepy.
Yes.
There's nothing you can throw at it. It's creepy.
Entirely unrelated note. People from Steam are bothering me to come play Puzzle Pirates with them.
Tell them you're recording.
He did.
Ask them if they're pagan and have Skype. And
One of them's actually really interested in Ossitru.
Well, tell him to get his butt on here.
Doesn't have Skype or a webcam, and his mom would kill him.
Well, we don't want him to have a webcam, because we don't do video.
Or Mike, sorry.
You can hop on live.pagancenteredpodcast.com and listen.
Oh yeah, actually I can link him.
Does he have...
Without a microphone, you can still, if you download his Skype somehow, you can add him in. And then you can text us the questions, and then we could
Like I used.
Yeah.
By the way, can I just add real quick, because I wasn't sure how the format of the program worked and stuff. Really quick, my piece about like men and ritual.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm a Kemetic. Doesn't, as far as I know, there doesn't seem to be much of an emphasis. In ancient times, most of the priests were men, but some deities had female priestesses, like Hathor. But I'm not really part of a group, so it's just solitary. So yeah, it seems just it's more everything, you know. I guess it's.
That was a very good question to ask, Dave, to the room with one agnostic and 3 solitaries. I'm just...
Yes. I'd love not to be a solitary, but...
There are advantages to being solitary. Less drama.
Unfortunately, there isn't a friendly neighborhood Kemetic temple in my city.
What city? You can text it, but you don't have to say it. Yeah, that'd be difficult.
I know a pagan sorta that's kind of close, but I would advise against visiting.
There's a much better pagan that's close by, Chris Orpella, but I don't know.
I listen to his podcast.
Yeah, he's in South Jersey. Geez,
Yeah.
My Jersey geography is kind of rusty. And I know there's definitely a group of pagans in North Jersey that's pretty active. Usually go to the generic pagan groups, and then usually they can point you around.
Gotcha. Let me just check the notes real quick, see if I missed anything.
Sure. We're on the topic of getting into energies, and Skirv had just done it, and then we got off on one hell of a tangent, which is all good. Now, do I believe that energies are equally accessible to men and non-men? If I were to strictly adhere to Wicca, I'd say no, but honestly, in practice, I've yet to see any proof to back that up. metaphysically. So I'm going to say, yeah, but energies are accessible to both men and non-men, and those who identify as men or those who identify as female, or whatever the case may be, whether you're a man or just merely a male or whatever.
Does that make you a bad Wiccan or a warlock?
Just means I'm a little bit different than most Wiccans out there. Just a little.
Speaking of testosterone,
Nobody's going to get that.
My
probably
take on,
best for my survival.
Yeah, it would be.
my take on that is, I think everyone has access to all energy. They have access, but the further you go from you yourself, the harder it is to access. Like, if you are the most masculine of masculine men, and you're trying to connect with feminine energy, that's going to have to do a lot of soul searching before you get there. That's my opinion.
So then, wouldn't that be more... It sounds like it'd be more kind of personality than specifically gender.
And I think that seems to be the general trend so far.
While I don't know a whole lot about the topic, I do definitely agree with that. It does seem like it would be more specific to your personality rather than your physical gender.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with physical gender.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand how this could derive. I mean, especially with the mishmash of Wicca being both a combination of folk practice and ceremonial practice, and women and menstrual blood being a critical ingredient to a lot of things in folk practice. And I can see how Wicca being the bridge between folk practice and ceremonial practice, this can kind of get bled into. I guess pun is intended there. I'm reading profusely.com. Lead into, ceremonial and just more pure metaphysics. And, yeah, I can understand where this belief could come from, but at the same time, I don't. You're talking about ingredients, not ultimate action.
You can only take psychodrama so far.
Yeah, that's
Like, I'm sure it makes it easier for women who use menstrual blood in their rituals, because that is a very strong connection, very strong psychodrama, but I don't think it's actually necessary. If a gay man wanted to do the exact same thing, he just has to use a little imagination.
And if you think about it, menstrual blood is zombie energy. It's living and dead all at the same time.
I'm never sure if we're taking an episode completely serious or not.
Well, take it this
sometimes
way.
you just sort of train wreck and you just sort of keep going with it.
Well, you guys do have a web address, I'mBleedingProfusely.com.
Yes!
It's not entirely serious, but it's fun.
It is fun.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that was serious. It actually happened, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did happen. Yeah,
Joke.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was using that as a reference for the web address.
Ironically, and I would sort of want to meet the famed person from that accident every once in a while, actually.
I want to meet him just to kick his ass for disgracing my name. So few people are named Barrett as a first name. I don't want people to get bad ideas about us.
Yeah, I can definitely see how somebody could listen to the early episodes of PCP and hear us talking about a fat, bald man named Barrett, and people assuming it's you.
It's not me. He is Barrett Evans. I am Barrett Allen.
Barrett Ellen. He is not Barrett Evans.
We should give a billboard for that.
Yeah, right next to pagans, not Christians.
What if the Christians are pagan?
Mind blown.
No Christio-pagans, okay? Stop talking about them. They annoy me more than fluffy bunnies. I don't know.
Some person that is not pagan probably listens to all the shows and here's our version of fluffy bunnies. Like, what is the culture problem with fucking stuffed animals? These people really have a problem with stuffed animals.
Well, actually, yes, we really do have a problem with stuffed animals, stuffed furry animals.
The effing furries.
Okay, we have to do one episode. It's not really an episode, but define all these words and put it up on the podcast feed every 3 months, so people understand us when we're talking.
Do you have any
There is
idea
a page
how
for
bad,
that.
Do you have any idea how badly we fail at satire?
Yeah, we tried that once. That crashed and burned really bad. We ought to take the whole topic very seriously for 3 hours.
I'm not talking satire, I'm just talking about definitions that people will look at and listen to. Maybe make the PCP-isms a bigger tab on the page, I don't know.
We haven't done a clip show ever. I think that could be a good excuse for us to have a do-nothing show.
Clip show?
Clip show.
What's a clip show?
A clip show is when people that write sitcoms get bored, so they have this stupid plot where people are remembering stuff that happened. And all it is about 5 minutes worth of acting and about 3 billion years worth of editing to put together a half-hour show.
Oh, Stargate did 2 of those every season.
Hey guys, do you remember the time I sounded like I was podcasting from the shower?
Actually, come to think about it, I was bleeding profusely once while podcasting.
From your ear.
Remember all those times people called Scurvy Gary?
And it usually was me.
I'm
Don't even do the
torn.
laugh track.
Do I want to drive to Texas or Canada first?
Come to Canada first, you can pick me up.
Yeah, and Barrett has a passport. This way he can get to Texas.
Great, I'll be visiting 2 foreign countries in one trip.
That's alright. Your punishment is you'll have to drive through Dallas to get here. There was a thread today about on Reddit, Houston, that a British person was looking to move to Houston. We were filling them in on what's important about being in Houston, and it was repeated several times. One of the most important things about being in Houston is learning to hate Dallas.
They're British, they should be able to pull it off.
So, the next metaphysical topic we have here is, do men more often interact with male deities, female deities, or is there no correlation at all?
Well, I personally mainly interact with a male deity, Thor. So that's my take on it. But I don't not go talk to Freya because I don't want to. It just doesn't come up.
For once, I'm embarrassed. Well, not quite embarrassed. Not quite reluctant. But, one female deity. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
She more seems to interact with you than the other way around.
I don't know, Dave. Is there a polite way to word this?
The universe hates you? I don't know. I don't even know what you're going at, man.
We'll just leave it at occasional interaction and call that good.
Oh, man. I got one female deity I interact with, and when I mess up, she makes sure I know about it. Occasionally male deities show up, but they're very hesitant to show up. So I'm not sure what the hell is going on there.
I mainly interact with a female deity and a male one. Females are actually the one who got me into the whole paganism sphere in the first place, and that's Hathor. And the male deity is Ra. So those are the ones I mainly interact with, though. Doesn't seem to really be the more or less stuff going on.
I'm not cool enough to have interacted with anyone as of yet.
Clubhouse are not letting you in?
Yeah. No one wants to talk to me, you know.
Have you tried talking to them first?
Yeah.
It helps.
They're gods. They're kind of busy. They're not going to come to you.
I've tried.
Well,
Not a whole lot, because I don't know a whole lot about it yet, and I want to learn more, but...
A big piece of Ossetru that I can see being great in all faiths is a gift for a gift. You have to give something to get something.
Yeah, gifts are good.
Sure.
Well, Dave remembers my earlier opinion of deity.
Yeah.
Which surprisingly hasn't changed too much. Yeah. Might explain why my luck's been getting more schizophrenic.
Alright, let's head over to a mundane topic. We usually have a lot more chatter with the mundane topic. The mundane topic of the month is, what do you do to make your daily commute or commuting experience to work and from work easier?
Call off.
Dude, we need some, like, Final Jeopardy music before this, you know?
Listen to PCP. Oh.
Well, sometimes I'll intentionally start out late so I gotta go stupidly fast and pray I don't get a speeding ticket along the way.
See, and you say you have no relation with deity.
Oh, no, I drive on 81. I drive on 81, trust me. I've seen death come at me on more than one occasion.
Yeah, 81 will do that.
Driving down the road one day, it was a real bad day, and I had a course of action I was wanting to follow through. Going down the road, 18-wheeler crosses the meridian, stops maybe a car length away from me. Like, yeah, you know, maybe I'm just going to table that. I got the hint!
I'm going to leave that whole
Asshole.
death thing for another day.
Well, my old job, my commute was pretty easy, but if there was too much traffic because of the major highway, I'd take back roads that I knew. Not very exciting, I know.
I make sure that I have my phone loaded up with podcasts and I plug that into my car through some wiring I have set up myself, and podcasts somehow negate my road rage.
I'd like to see Dave with road rage.
Oh, no, you don't. You can talk to Ashley. She's seen my road rage. People have gotten out of their cars as a result of my road rage.
Is it any worse than Gary driving?
A little. I did do off-roading at a high speed.
Whee!
But not with Ashley. Because I don't do crazy crap when I got passengers in the car.
I need to start driving with Dave.
Hey, maybe that's why the podcasts negate your road rage. Because it makes you kind of feel like you're a passenger.
Maybe that is the case.
It's like a dummy passenger.
Emulates a rider, yeah.
Chris Arpello would be really pissed off if I killed him in a car right now, even though he's not here.
I wouldn't be happy about that either. You'd better start doing PCP and Infinite and Beyond.
Oh man, that'd be so
I just
true.
laugh. I'm sorry. I just laugh so hard if it comes out that you get into a terrible car accident. I'm not hoping this. I don't want this to happen, and die. And then a really Christian police officer gets there, hears a pagan podcast as he's walking up to the thing, and thinks you are a good Christian that committed suicide when that came on the radio.
Actually, no, in good car wrecks, your battery normally don't survive.
No, I had a really good car wreck that my battery did survive. It just wasn't connected anymore.
See?
Yeah, I've had really bad car wrecks. Not as a result of road rage, though. That's the amazing part. My road rage came years after all that. And after I moved to Houston. People do stupid crap in this city.
Yes, there are a lot of stupid people out there.
Yeah.
Adam, what's your take? Because I haven't heard you talk about this yet.
I don't have a commute to work per se because I do most of my work on the computer.
The commute from your bed to your desk.
Oh, well, that one. Well, there's usually potato chips and Rockstar involved.
For 10 steps.
Yeah, I have to say that I think it might have been Scurv actually last time I was on that gave me good advice on how to gain some energy. Was, I believe, 5-hour energy and Ovaltine milk. I don't know if it was you, but whoever said that was a brilliant idea. Absolutely brilliant.
Gatorade.
It was
Actually,
crazy.
Ovaltine milk's a hydrator as well, I believe.
I love Ovaltine.
Oh,
But-
man, I tried Ovaltine once when I was in Europe. I was expecting chocolate milk. It is
Oh.
not chocolate milk.
Yeah, people seem to make that mistake. It's not. It's malt milk.
So does it taste like liquid chocolate malt balls?
Sort of. It tastes like Ovaltine. I mean,
Does it taste like chocolate? Does it taste chocolatey at all?
Not to me.
not really.
Say I gave good advice.
Though I will say the powdered chocolate stuff I got in the Netherlands, I have no clue what the brand name is on it. Definitely wasn't Nestle. I don't know what that is, but that stuff was amazing, and I'll never get it again because I don't know what it is.
Scurvy is still stuck back on the fact that he gave good advice.
Scary's still stuck on the fact that a few days ago he got word from a pagan elder that he's people look up to him in the community.
Yeah, there's obviously some people out there with judgmental issues.
I look up to you, Scurv, I do.
Oh my god, why? There are
Just
so
about
many
the-
reasons this does not work.
No, I look up to you just because it bothers you.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
I look up to all you guys. You're all very intelligent people.
Well, enjoy those rock stars while you can, because in like another 15 years, your stomach's going to be like, ouch.
Oh, it already is like that. I just do it anyway.
It probably won't be the stomach first. It'll probably be the kidneys.
I already screwed those up. And the stomach, and probably the liver.
If you have a screwed up kidney, you should not be drinking that energy drinks. I'm sorry, you're a dumbass.
Oh, I should. Excuse me, my girlfriend has a heart condition, and she drank 3 amp energy drinks. I could have strangled her.
Ouch.
Just because other people are more stupid than you, just be stupid.
But if they are more stupid, bring a video camera with you so that we can sub it for the Darwin Awards.
Bring them on for an episode. This could be good.
Oh, yeah.
As long as it's one I'm not post-producing.
I love you too, Scrub.
Actually, even if it is one I'm post-producing, I get to savor it for a while.
As you hear it over and over and over and over again. So anybody have like any general commentary on men? Or pagans? We're not even in an hour yet.
Something that starts with an M or a P. That's what happened last time.
I don't have anything that's directly man or directly pagan even, but it's off of something that Skirv said earlier on. He said he saw death come at him, and that got my brain turning. Does anyone here believe that death is or can be an actual entity?
I think death's an emotion.
I don't know. I'm not going to say that it. I think it's a little more complicated than that. I understand the Comedics have the whole thing with the whole death thing, but I think entities can be present at moments of death. But to say it's the same entity for everyone might be oversimplifying it.
Yeah, I don't know about a entity that is death. There might entities that have something to do with death. It is tricky. I mean, at least as I understand it, we don't really have a personification of death. A lot of gods that are relevant to death, but that's not the same thing.
Nah, exactly.
You know, like a psychopomp would not be the death itself.
I know a kitten that's about to experience death if you don't touch it, if you don't leave that alone.
Scrooge got a kitten, by the way.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, don't that just melt your heart?
His name is Dusty. He's the pick of trouble. And if Dusty chews on that cord much longer, he is going to experience death.
Is it an electric cord?
Yeah.
You might want to stop him then.
Okay. Got a good use for that book.
Next week on Pagan Men, child rearing.
Have a good use for that book.
It's about time.
Now, what book was it?
I'm taking bets on Defense Against Darkness.
Can I get lotto numbers too?
When you had her on, you said her book was really, really good. Why is it?
No, they said.
Okay, yeah, they said.
I wanted to read it.
It's got good information. It's got good information in it. It's just the cadence of it.
It's not Germanic enough for you, man.
It's
extremely D&D-ish, I heard.
No, it's not that bad.
A D&D player would be looking at it saying, where are the stats? Yes.
I wanted to read it until I saw that it was on that one website.
Oh god, the one with the clown.
Yeah, that was worse than Voldemort. That is the website that should not be named.
The world clown?
I don't remember the name of it. It's in some PCP episode that's coming up. I think we have Scurvy first producing that one.
It's already out.
Ah shit. Well then it's out there. Go look at the
Oh, what episode was it?
Here we go. I'll link you. It was the only other episode I'm in.
Oh, it must not have been me post-producing it.
Oh, that was me post-producing it. That's right.
Trust me, I had like a heart attack when I heard my voice. It's like, man, I sound like an idiot.
Everybody says that.
Yeah,
Here we go. The website's in the chat.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh man, I remember why I purged that from my memory.
Ah. Laser fingers and eye worms and...
See, this is the tradition that men have. We find something horrible and we make sure all our male friends know about it.
Absolutely.
So it's usually a smell.
What's wrong with this website?
What, horror news?
Yeah.
The
It's
image.
just... Did you see their front page? Or, you can read the review on Defense Against the Dark.
Huh.
Who is Torashina Gamma?
We know who Gamma is.
Some person named Gail has just joined the chat.
Since we've already pretty much shipwrecked this completely, let's drag Amber in.
Sure. She might be able to answer some of our manly questions.
Yeah, where was
Oh,
Brad?
I wanted to talk to Amber anyway. I wanted to say hello to her. I haven't been in a podcast with her yet.
Which explains why she's not picking up, I guess.
You know, some of the pictures on this site are actually a little bit wrong.
Just a little bit.
Here we go. Author Emily Carlin has spent the better years of her life delving into things that only Harry Potter stories seem to inspire these days. As a dean of the Grey School of Wizardry, you can't help but wonder if there is any truth to this very abstract, controversial subject area that only seems a reality to those who claim to know witchcraft. As I read forward, it was the movie The Craft that kept jumping into my head.
Ruh-roh.
From the author's perspective, Emily believes in this stuff, and claims it's as real as the illusions we build around ourselves. Those subtle creaks, those glimpses of dark shadows, those objects that seem to move out of the corner of our eye, and the very kinds of creatures that we make movies about these days. I don't know. I think the use of stuff in that sentence there made me dislike this writer, like, automatically.
It's like, stuff. Yeah.
Things. Stuff with
Well,
things.
Emily Carlin didn't write that.
Yeah, that is a good point. She did not.
No, not the book, no.
The
Nah,
review.
this is the
Hey, Amber.
This is what's wrong with horror news, not the book.
Okay.
Amber? You
She's
there?
in the chat.
Yes?
Hi, Amber.
Hi,
Hello.
Amber.
I thought you were doing your boys thing today.
Yeah, we ran out of stuff to talk about.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
We got lonely.
Please help us, nice lady.
You got no idea. She's evil.
Scurvy, be quiet. Don't blow it too early. Let me have my little bit of enjoyment. Shush.
I'm sorry.
Well, don't all talk at once.
Yes, I need arts. And I was debating asking Squirt just to see what would happen.
Oh, don't do that. She's been turning crap recently.
She's been what?
Turning out crap.
Oh.
Why?
She just doesn't have patience right now, and she's trying to turn out work, but not having the patience to turn out work. That's all. It's a typical teenager thing.
Okay,
Mika's making her too busy.
let's see.
Well, Mika's actually not making her do a whole lot. Just enough to make her realize that this is not just happiness, sunshine, and rainbows. So it's cool.
See, okay. Here is what I'm looking for arts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want like picture of sunrise thing. Maybe I don't know.